What is going on? Welcome back to the channel. It's your boy Blunderbuss79, and we are back at y'all with a brand new video. And y'all see the file on the intro once again with the double sneak peek. And that's not even the best part. Best part is it's not the last sneak peek. If you scroll down here to the second sneak peek, check out the new look of these superheroes. So check out the details in the patch notes to come. And you see we got the uniforms for Polaris, Beast, Cyclops, and Angel. So greetings, agents. This is CM Fragment. The mutant powers, the mutant superheroes unite in their mission to protect their kind across the world in their new looks. Extra X-Men powers. And then on this one, we got the superhero with the storied past and lineage, manipulates magnetic force to keep her enemies in check. Green magnetic force. Check out the new abilities of this superhero. So yeah, that is live. That's dope. We got a tier 3 coming for Polaris. We don't have or don't know what's coming for any of these three. Possibly a tier 4 for Cyclops. And none of these characters have been touched in over 2 years. You see we got Beast. He's nothing more than a leadership at this point, but because he never got an awakened skill or tier 3 or anything like that, you can't really use him for anything. It's really wide open on a lot of these characters. Healing, this guy needs damage accumulation. They can throw the kitchen sink at him and really make him usable in a lot of different content. Even though the combat class is very, very saturated right now, I don't see him getting, they'd have to do something Kamala Khan-esque, really, with the support on top to really make Beast shine. He's never been good in the game, so hopefully he gets a complete overhaul. Meanwhile, you got this guy, Cyclops. He does have the leadership and the ambient radiation passive on his 4-star with a 30% or 15%. And he has a 35-25. He does have a decent heal, I think, on his 5th skill, but once again, the damage just isn't there. So they're really going to have to crank the numbers in order to get a lot out of this guy. And interestingly enough, the Archangel uniform did not turn this guy into a supervillain. And you see my Archangel is currently ranked 7. He's been that way for a long time now. We do got the CTP of destruction on him. He was a project character for me for a number of years. He was a timeline killer in his day. One of the best ways to deal with Jean Grey when he finally came to the game. Before that, people were using characters like Vulture. So it'll be interesting to see what they do for this guy. Hopefully they change this horrible uniform passive with the poison damage. I mean, this thing is just absolutely atrocious. So yeah, he does interestingly have a damage accumulation built into his 3rd skill based on attack, but it's so low, it's only 0.6%. So yeah. And as you all can see, a lot of these uniforms came straight out of the X-Men Volume 6 2021 Fearless run. It came right after Hellfire Gala. So that's where a lot of these looks are coming from for Cyclops. And you see Polaris there as well. You also see Sync there. This was also out of that run with Rogue and X-23, so they may be getting something as well. You also got the High Evolutionary back there. So for a lot of people that are thinking, because we're getting uniforms for Beast, Angel, and Cyclops, and they're already in the game, so how can it possibly be an epic quest? Let me remind you of a few things. So if we slide over here to the epic quest, you guys can see when we go to the characters for the Shaper of Worlds, you see we got Green Goblin right here. We also have Bullseye. They were already in the game when this epic quest dropped, and it's not the only one. If you go over here to the Guardians of the Galaxy epic quest, we already had Nebula and Punisher in the game when this epic quest dropped and brought an additional 5 characters. So it only stands to reason that the more characters we see in the game, the more difficult it's going to be for them to bring a long list of characters for an epic quest kind of thing. So we could very well see 2, maybe even 3 recycled characters in an epic quest, depending on how big it is. But yeah, those 2 epic quests in particular come to mind. Yeah, everybody else, as far as the epic quest was concerned, we didn't have. No, here we go. She-Hulk, I do believe, was already in the game. Crystal was already in the game. We got the Fantastic Four and we got Doom and Victorious. So it could be the same thing, kind of the other way around, with 3 or 4 characters that we have and maybe 4 more that we don't. And the reason why I bring that up is because if you look at a lot of these uniforms, you start digging into a little bit into the comic run, one of the names that I kept seeing pop up was the Quiet Council. If you don't know who the Quiet Council are, it's basically the governing body of Krakoa. And they were first created by Professor X, Magneto, and Myra McTaggart. And this is where we got the rule: make more mutants, murder no man, respect the land. But the members of this thing were the Black King, that's Sebastian Shaw, Colossus, Destiny, Exodus, Hope Summers, Nightcrawler, Professor X, the Red Queen, that's Kitty Pryde. We also got Mr. Sinister, Mystique, Storm, and the White Queen, Emma Frost. And it's the current members under this current run. But then you also have Apocalypse as being a former member of this, along with Magneto. I think he was killed off in a previous run, Apocalypse. And then you have Marvel Girl also being part of this thing. So we could get quite a few powerful characters, including someone like Exodus, or maybe even someone like Sync or Hope Summers. So, and once again, like I said, if you look right here, those outfits are just direct links. Yeah, man, if you look, those uniforms for Cyclops and especially Polaris are just spot on dead ringers from this comic run. Like I said, you got my man Sync right there with the optic blast right behind Cyclops. So if we get him as a part of this as well, with Polaris as part of an epic quest, I think that would be dope. So we'll have to wait and see how all of that kind of shakes out. But y'all sound off in the comments, man. Let me know what y'all think as far as this thing being an epic quest, or you know, whether these are just gonna be paywall mutants. Maybe they get dropped in the future pass or something like that. That would also be dope. The free-to-play option is always my top sort of way to go. Like I said, y'all sound off in the comments. Let me know what y'all think, and we'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.